Welcome back to the channel. That track in the background is what we're going to be focusing on today. At the moment that is called Courage, but I'm going to maybe change the title. I'm not totally sold. You are in tune to Rap Cinematic. Pardon the trains over there. My name is Henry James, Sounds of the Warrior. And on this channel I am going to be breaking down beats and delving into how I made them. We're going to take a closer look at some of the strings, some of the technical aspects involved in making the beat itself, finishing the beat, and putting a live performance in on Thursday as well, and getting the tracks out there. This is, going to be focused on a cinematic style of rap, hip hop music, and big sounds, big dramatic staccatos and emotion, and lots of power behind this music. So if you're new here, welcome along. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and I'll have a couple of videos every single week, and trying to develop the channel from there and bring in lots of other factors of the channel, but for now we're going to be focusing on delving into the drums. Anyway, let's get into the track and have a closer look at this track and how I made it. I'm going to briefly go over the drums. I'm going to talk about the strings, and I'm going to bring in the piano roll and talk about how the chords were, how the strings were made, what chord it's in, or scale it's in, Anyway, let's get into the track and see what it is about. Alright, so I'm still having a little issue with the audio linking it internally, so I'm going to do my best to record it and then match it up with what I'm talking about, because I had a little go earlier today and couldn't do it, but I will get it done for next week 100%, no problem. But as for now, let's take a look at the drums. Okay, so now I've always said the selection of your drums is so important. And I'm sure producers have heard that, and you're like, yeah, okay, but how do I know, and where do I get my drums from? That's a good question, because if you're just starting out, it isn't always as easy to tell how good the drums are. But there are some things you can do. Well, one, I always recommend getting battery 4. There's plenty of other sample packs and stuff you can use, but battery 4, the drums are immaculate. And another thing you can do is, if you look at the size of, just have a look at the audio sometimes, right? Like you can see and hear, but specifically see, the size of the audio, and you don't really need to do too much to it. Yeah, you can get the drums louder a little bit if you know what you're doing, but you don't really need to do that much. That's the beauty of getting the right selection, is it's done for you. Compression and distortion and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things that I see producers do is just overstretching, over-crushing a perfectly good sound. It's just awful. You don't need to do that with these, and you're in a good place. And if you use a drum kit, they're all kind of designed to go with each other, the sounds. I like to mix and match mine, but it's a good place to start. So I've got this expansion pack, Golden Kingdom, and this pack is called Black Tiger. And that kick drum is nice. It's got a little symbol on it. I use that a lot. It just has a nice little tail. The trouble with a big kick like that, though, is mixing the bass with it, because that has been a challenge. And you really want a nice chesty, stumpy kick drum if you're gonna put an 808 under it, because it's got less of a tail. But I like a drum with a tail, which means mixing it's a little bit harder. But let's have a listen to this. All right, I'm just going to play. Now, I don't love the bass on this. It's okay, but the point of me making this channel is to be accepting of certain things that I'm just going to have to improve on and get better on down the line, because I can't find a sample that I love about the bass. Okay, it's okay and it will do, and it's not the focus of the track. It just sits underneath and provides that bottom end, but I don't love it, I don't hate it. So just go with something, and if you can fix it on the way, by the time at Thursday I'll hopefully have a better sample, and then the track will be, hopefully Friday morning will be done. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm determined to do it. So I've got a rim shot for the snare. Now part of the reason for that is because it's quite high in frequency, it kind of gets out of the way. It creates a nice texture balance as well, but it gets out of the way of the strings because it's a little higher up, some of the strings, and I find it lets the strings breathe a little bit in a certain area. I've messed around with the snare and tried other ones, but I really like the rim shot. It kind of works. It's clean. It's a clean snare. And then I've just got these hi-hats. Simple stuff. I try to variate the velocity, on all these here. Variate the velocity. There's an open hi-hat there, and it just keeps it. I always, imagine you're a live drummer and you just keeps the flow and the rhythm better. And there's a couple of layers on that. And then I've got a little thing right here. See this right here, it goes from left to right, pans around. I've got a few sounds on the snare. Alright, so that's that. Let's get into the fun part. Alright, this is where the strings are. This is pretty cool. Now this is E minor. Yeah, so this is E minor scale. So this is E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and then back to E. Now that's, I'm starting to learn about scales and keys. And obviously that's within an octave, and then you start the other octave on E again, and it's just a simple, like, E's the root note, which is where the rhythm starts. And if you look here, now this is going to sound a little rough, okay? I'm going to fix all this by Thursday. I've got to play it again, but essentially there's a sound underneath, which is this. Panning left and right, okay? Then we got pretty simple stuff, really. Now this the star for me, the sound is this viola, okay? It's a pizzicato specifically, meaning it's like a little pluck, yeah? Ding, ding. So love that little sound. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Simple stuff. Do you know what? When I wrote this, actually, I wrote this song in about 20 minutes. It was one of those, like, it just came out of nowhere. It was just crazy, but it's taken me absolutely ages to get everything together, piece it all together. Like, mixing all these different sounds is quite challenging, as I'm finding out, but it's been good. So it's been a learning curve, but the playing the instruments that's the easy part for me anyway. But hopefully it works, and hopefully it comes together, and that is it. And like I said, it's not fully mixed yet, and it's not it's got a lot of touching up to do, but musically it's there, and I've got to arrange it a little bit. But I like the track. I think it's all right. I think it's pretty wicked, to be honest. So that is it, really. I'm trying to figure out more structure to this channel, and more ways to delve into these beats, because I'm just kind of winging it. I had a very busy week, so I'm just trying to do this. I wanted to get one out every Monday and Thursday, but stay tuned for Thursday. I'll break down the keys. I'm going to do a live performance from that video, and then get the song out, and then we'll delve into what's coming for the week after. But for now, hopefully that was insightful, and yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and get producing. You are in tune to Henry James Rap Cinematic. Shout out to Hatman for that name, man. Big respect to you, bro. Thank you so much. And I will see you on Thursday. I hope you have a lovely week. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability. Take care.